Alright, so today we are going through the installation of the Dreamline Power Plenum, just about right there. It's going to extend your tube. We're going to go through the installation of it on a tube. There'll be another part where it's the installation onto a bottle with the bottle adapter, just like so. So anyway, so I'll be covering that in the next part of the video. And then the final part will be the actual tuning of the rifle with the power plenum on. Alright, so now we have the gun completely degassed. I'm going to show you by taking off the regular gauge. Obviously there's no air coming out, so just go ahead and screw that back on. There we go, just hand tight. Now we're going to unthread the bottle, or the tube I should say, unthread the tube. Alrighty, we've got the tube separate now. Let's set that down. Then we got the Dreamline Plenum, the Dreamline Power Plenum, however you want to say it. Make sure there's lube on the O-ring, and then you're just going to thread it on, just like you thread it off the tube. Alright, now that that's just hand tight, now we can take the tube back, make sure it's nice and lubed, and just thread it right back on. Alright, now that's hand tight, make sure your gauge at the end of the tube is tight with your 11mm wrench. Make sure this is nice and snug. Just lightly, you don't have to make sure it doesn't have to be anything more than hand tight. And then you're good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to take the bottle adapter off so you can install your power plenum. It's going to install just right there. So the first thing you're going to have to do, make sure your gun is on safe. Good to go. Then we're going to take off the barrel. Should just loosen these two screws right here. If you're having difficulties, I do have a video on this. Set that to the side. The next thing we're going to do is take off our bottle. There we go. It already bled off. And set that to the side. Then next, we're going to take a 2.5mm Allen and we're going to bleed the regulator. So we're just going to turn it clockwise. Just counterclockwise, my bad. Turn counterclockwise until you hear the pressure release. And also, you can see here on the gauge that both gauges are empty now. So the next step will be to remove the lower part of the action. Start by taking a 5mm Allen, go to the pistol grip, remove that. And we're going to take our 4mm Allen. Don't want to scratch the gun. So we got one screw. I'll leave it in there. Two screws. So in this lower receiver, there's one 5mm Allen back here for the handguard. There's two 4mm Allens right there, and there's one 3mm Allen back here. After you get that loose, this will come right off. And after you have that off, like I said before, the regulator pressure is gone. There's no pressure on here. So this will just untwist right off. There you go. Bottle adapter's off. So the next thing we're going to do is, there's already lube there, so we're just going to take the power plenum, install it right on. Nice and tight. I'm going to go get some lube. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got the lube now. I got just a little container of some silicone grease. It's super lube. Got me a Q-tip. Just going to go around the edge just like that. That way you don't get your hands greasy or anything like that. And we need just a little extra. And just dip right back on in. Make sure you got a nice good coating. Make sure everything's lubed up. You don't want too much, just a nice thin layer, just so it seals great. And then there's an O-ring on the inside that about just fell out. I'm gonna take my lube here, push it back into place. There we go. Set that to the side. And then we just take the bottle adapter and screw it right back on. And it's not going to be a zero stop, so you just have to line it up to the best of your ability. That looks pretty lined up to me. Alrighty. So what we're going to do now, we're going to install our lower receiver back on. So first, we're just going to go in reverse order. We're not going to tighten the screws at first, just going to thread them in. Oh, see, there we go. We're starting to have an issue. Oh, that's why. Not on the screw. There we go. There we go. That one's bombed out, but it's not tight. There we go. Now we can tighten them down. Those are all tight now. So now we just have that action. Go ahead and screw the bottle back on. Slowly put it on. You never want to shock your gun by slamming the bottle on. Whenever it starts getting resistance and it's going to start opening that valve, you want to just go slowly on, so that the air slowly comes into the gun and regulates it and distributes properly. So there we go. Last step is to take the barrel, slide it back on into place, make sure it's all lined up. There we go, slid in nice and easy. There we go. Got the barrel on, and now I did not forget. Gotta put the pistol grip back on. Alright, so here's your Dreamline bottle with the power plenum.